Hi, everyone. Welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys, I hope you had an amazing weekend. Jason and I, we spent a lot of time like on walks and taking our dogs out. And thank God for Jason and his skincare, because now he is implementing a new SPF in my life because I'm getting older, you guys. She's getting older and the wrinkles are going to start coming. And as much as I want to embrace my inner George Clooney, I can't do that at 31 yet. So I got time. Okay. So thank you, Jason. I love you so much. And let me know when you find that SPF. Anyways, with that, guys, welcome back. Happy Hot Messy Topics. We're back with our two favorite girls, Ashley and Imani from Taste of Reality. We have a lot to talk about, from Dorit Kemsley in this divorce, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got Love Hotel last night, which I have some opinions, rumors of new spinoffs. We also have Melissa Gorga, some New Jersey stuff that came out. We have Scheana, who's exposing Lisa Vanderpump in her new book. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. So in the live chat, just let us know where you're watching from. And yeah, let's welcome the girls. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday.
Hi, guys.
Good morning. I had no idea what day it was today. Like, literally no clue.
Did you see me kind of pause? And I was like, happy Monday.
Jason always says, because he repurposes a lot of our YouTube videos for podcasts. So because, you know, sometimes people who listen to podcasts don't watch YouTube, vice versa. Yeah. And he's like, okay, when you pause and you're like, hey guys, happy Saturday. He's like, no, just know that it's Saturday when you go on. I'm like, I always forget what day it is. It's like Groundhog's Day.
I know. Well, the cool thing is that there is a date right here on our computer. So
no, but that just says Monday. Oh yeah, it does say Monday. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. Look at that.
We're using our resources here.
Look at Ashley, the problem solver. All right, guys. What? No, please. Rochester, New York. We have Western Pennsylvania. We have Dallas, Texas. We have Arizona, Northern Ireland. Vicky said Imani.
Hi, Vicky.
More Texas, fresh cut.
Can I just say both of you are working with high body count hair today? Slay. Yeah. Both of you slay.
The hair. I'm being Glenda from Wicked.
I had to tame it down a little because I totally have like a Snooki poof that likes to just go as high as possible. And I was like, okay, let's just bring this down today, guys. So I was like trying to tame and tease it as far down as I could, but this is what we have to work with. Okay. It is what it is.
Yeah, 100%. For me, mine would just be bedhead. That's what.
Okay. So we're gonna call her bedhead.
Snooze fest. I'm a bed bug. Oh my god,
bed bugs.
Yes.
No, not bed bugs. Wait, by the way, before we jump into all of it,
no, we're like good bed bugs. You're talking bad bed bugs. We're talking summer house bed bugs. We live in bed too.
Wait, I wanted to ask you, and I'm gonna bring a photo up, but Ashley, you went to the Countess's cabaret.
Well, yes. The Countess summoned Imani and I to her show. Imani is booked and busy, y'all. She already had plans, but me, I'm like, I can just pop over to Los Angeles for a quickie. I brought my mom with me. It's hilarious because like my mom doesn't watch Housewives, but she does watch The Masked Singer. So she did not want to join me for Luann's show.
Oh.
But my friend Lindsay did, and we had a great time. And she lives like in Encino. So like I got some like really interesting like living things about like, because my friend lives in an amazing house, but technically on a main road. So like I learned some things about Los Angeles geography from her, which is amazing and so cool. But yeah, we met the Countess, enjoyed the show. I got to sit next to Kim from Bravo Breaking News.
Oh, we love Kim.
Hi, Kim.
We love Kim. We appreciate her. She and her friend are so fun. We saw Zach Peters. Chef Stu was there. But then we went to Sir. Well, I went and when we went to Sir that night, you know, saw Guillermo, saw who I think are some of the new Vanderpump crew, but I'm going to stay silent. And then we saw Tom Schwartz, my mom's now imaginary boyfriend at Tom Tom, who was bartending yesterday. And Zach Wickham was there too. And we love Zach Wickham at Taste of Reality. Like, love him.
Wait,
so it was
I have
amazing.
to. I want to ask you, since you said that you like, okay, like maybe mum's the word for the new Vanderpump Rules cast, but also at the same time, you know, I'm sure that they're really in a testing phase to see as they go through the season who has the real prominent storylines. Is your friend Israel going to be on the show? Do you know?
I'm not going to say anything because no cast list was announced. And I am a woman of integrity, as we really thrive on being at Taste of Reality. So I can like kind of read between lines when I'm there. I was there very late, but like I go to SUR a lot. Like I go to SUR probably every couple months. So I see who's working. I've never been there during filming, but I'm there enough to where I am very confident I can tell you the core cast.
Got it. All right. Well, guys, since Ashley ended up going on, I'm going to keep this one really quick. Since Ashley ended up going to see the Countess last night, the girls were busy and they were traveling, booked and busy over there. But Jason and I sat down and we watched the new, well, at least the premiere of Love Hotel, which I thought was kind of interesting, the concept and what they were trying to bring together. There were a couple of gitchy things, I'm not going to lie, when it came to, and I want you guys, next time we see each other, you form your opinion on this. The host, I believe his name is Joel.
Yes.
The one who went
Joel
in
Kim
on.
Booster.
Yeah, Joel Kim Booster. The way that everybody started coming out, and I'm sure they gave him like a nice proper, like, these are the lines that we want you to say. Like, he was like, guys, or ladies, are you ready to meet the guys who are hung like Bolo? And like, it was a lot of Bravo references.
Yeah.
And watching it, I kind of thought, I was like, what are we doing? But then, you know, Shannon Beador, who is an absolute disaster on reality TV, which makes her such great reality TV. It's like, you kind of have to be that, what she is. And this is why we love watching her. She brought a lot of energy. Ashley, Darby, Luann, you know, I thought the women brought energy, but I thought the format of the show was a little silly. They bring in this original group of guys who I feel like we could have done better. What I like about it, though, when you guys watch, is that the guys, they're asking the guys like, so have you ever seen Housewives? Do you know who Andy Cohen is? And they're like, we don't watch TV. We don't know anything about you guys. And I was like, oh, that's good. We like that.
Yeah,
but
we don't want fans.
Yeah, we don't want fans. But I also thought that this should have been like a revolving door of each episode being bringing in new men, you know, and having the guys like kind of cycled out as the women are not interested in them. And I don't get the sense that that's what we're going to get. So it'll be interesting. I just think that the format could have used a little bit more help, but you guys will see for yourselves.
I think it's a good idea.
Wait.
Yeah. I am eager to watch. As Adam mentioned, Ashley and I were both kind of on opposite ends of this country. I was in New York. Ashley was in LA. So I haven't watched Love Island, or not Love Island. Oh my goodness. Love Hotel yet. But for me, I have a hard time watching shows like this when I know no one from this show is going to end up with somebody on there, assuming, because Ashley is very much so still with Jack Harlow. Shout out Wendy Osefo for that. So
Jack Harlow. And I was just like, yeah, I forgot that was not his real name. And she's not really dating Jack Harlow. LOL.
I forgot what his name is right now. Josh?
It's Jack Harlow. It's fine.
I don't know. But my thing is like, they're very much still together. Like Ashley just recently posted with him. So I feel like that takes me out a little bit of the show. Granted, like, they're not going to find their husbands. It's just like a fun, like get you show to your point. But I don't know. I feel like it has potential for sure. Yeah. And Bravo is not a dating show, so like the bones are there, but I haven't watched yet to see the format, so I can't speak on that yet. But
Laurel, they don't watch TV, but they're on a show.
So
nope.
How did they know about casting then? To my question, unless they're nominated by like a family member.
Well, and that would be what it would have to be. But then I saw somebody else who said so it's just the same men the whole time. I saw next week that there was like maybe one or two new. I don't know how the men are going to be phased out. I just think that it's not a real clear format. But again, we'll see. But basically to piggyback off of what you two were saying, it's like, Ashley didn't end up with any of these men. We know that Luann did not. We know that Shannon
dated a guy
didn't.
for a while from the show. They dated after the show for a while. We covered that at Taste of Reality. I don't know. I don't think they're still together, but they did continue dating.
Well, then Giselle last night on Watch What Happens Live with Portia, Andy Cohen was like, what are you guys going to do after this? And they were like, we're going fishing for men. And I'm like, Giselle, now you just already let us know that this did not work out. Like, we're on the premiere night. We don't need to know that we're fishing for men for Portia. Like, let's be a little bit better with the delivery. Leave some, autonomy? I don't know. Leave some mystery here. Leave something, because now we're just like, oh, none of you guys end up with any of these guys. And I agree with one of the people. Like, it's creepy.
It's like, I get the show for for entertainment purposes, sure. Maybe like have Luann help younger Bravo girls like Lexi Wood find their men, like the Countess, like since the Countess was teaching women how to have like, not ethics, guys, what's the word? Morals. I don't know. The Countess, like,
are you talking about like the first seasons?
Oh, the etiquette?
Countess?
The etiquette. Okay. So
no, she was terrible. Do you remember she looked at the girl and she was like, what do you want to be? And the girl said, I want to be a model. And she's like, oh, you have a beautiful face, but you still have a lot of time to lose some weight, honey.
Yeah, but
it's like
kind of like that mentor though, as like Luann like mentoring the younger generation of Bravo, like even Bryn Whitfield, like, this is how you get a man, or like Lexi Wood, Luann's like, this is how you get a man. I don't know, just like like Sonia and Luann teaching a younger class like how to get the men. I don't know.
Oh God. I don't know if after Sonia messed up this whole whatever it was Simple Life thing with just the little I don't know how much we will be featuring her in the future, but I did want to say too, there is a new rumored Housewives swap show. So I took that off you, Imani, because I knew I was asking
before we switch.
Imani.
To answer your question, I actually met 3 guys from Luann, the new Love Hotel. You mentioned like them switching out. Did you see these 3 men? Somebody said in the comments, I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody that we talk to all the time, that they seemed creepy. These 3 men I met, I don't remember their names.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They were so kind. Were they on the first episode?
They were on the first episode, yeah.
They were like really good vibes, you guys. I just went and introduced myself because like people think we're bots and we're not. And I was like, hi, if you see Taste of Reality, here's the human. There's another.
It was funny because the Luann last night, they all got to pick one person to ask out on a date from like meeting all of the guys as a collective. And Luann goes out with the guy, and the guy's like trying to put his hand on her waist, and he's like walking the beach, and he was like, yeah. She said, so what do you like to do? He said, I live in Puerto Rico and I like to surf, and when I'm not surfing, I like to chill out at my beach house. And she said, I could never do that. And then she ends up, and she like finally they're walking, and she's like, you know what, I can't do this, like I'm not good with this, and she just leaves him on the beach and walks off. And I'm like, that's what I like, the savageness. But that is so specific to the RHONJ cast, because they are savage. Like they will go on 3 dates in the same night and leave their dates. And then just go and meet other. And then if they don't like the 3 dates that they have in the same night, they'll steal each other's men. Like those women are great.
I appreciate that. In the old school RHONJ, they are good for a drive-by. They will have like 4 dates in one night, and you better hold down yours because they might be taking them.
Mm-hmm. That was actually a plot point at the Countess's show. They did like a Q&A thing. It was so funny. And it was like, who didn't hook up with Harry Dubin? And
that's a good question. Mark safe.
We're good. But no, guys, there is a rumor that there is a new Housewives swap. So if you guys don't remember, I believe it was on ABC. I said ABC to Jason. Jason said TLC. I think it was ABC. But it was when they did Wife Swap. And back in the day when they did Wife Swap, it was usually like you would have a very militant wife, and then she would be swapped with a family that, you know, they loved fast food and they did whatever they wanted and they weren't regimented. And so it was just like a disaster back and forth. But this with the Housewives, I know, Imani, that you said that you, or Ashley, maybe it was one of you said that this sounds like a great idea, but unless you really have a Joe Gorga or like a husband that's incredibly engaging and will play the game and know that this is like all just BS for entertainment, then I don't necessarily think it's it's not the most exciting because it's not like you guys have these vastly different lives. You guys are like in a sisterhood of a very niche sort of situation. I don't see it, but I will always give anything that they film a chance.
I think this has potential to be a really interesting show because, I mean, to your point, like the thing that makes Wife Swap interesting was like they were two completely polar opposite families.
Right.
I actually still actively watch Wife Swap like in the background while I'm working sometimes. So they would have to pair it like just right.
Right.
To your point, I would have to sit here and think like which would be like the best swaps, but probably like East Coast versus West Coast or something. I don't know. But I think it has potential, and like seeing the children mixed in with like the different parents could be interesting to me. Like imagine like Dorit and Bethany Frankel like swapping. I don't know why that just came to my head, but like I don't know. I would like to see.
She wouldn't swap because they don't have a husband. Like,
that's true.
We need a husband here.
That's true.
I'm not interested at all in the Housewives like swap thing. Like
that
doesn't
perfect.
sound interesting at all to me.
Yeah, I mean, outlier.
Not that's just not for me. If anything, having them switch with like somebody from another network, like I like it when they cross networks and have like very different dynamics of humans. Like possibly like off the top of my head, I'm thinking of Boston Rob, who was on Survivor. He was on The Traitors. People love him. We love him. He met his wife filming Survivor. So to see, like, I can't think of a Beverly Hills couple that's together. I'm trying to think of any couple that's together. Heather and Terry Dubrow. If we switch somebody like Fancy Pants with somebody like Boston Rob and his wife, who I'm sure live very well, mind you, but they're very normal people compared to this, that would be interesting.
Okay.
But I'm not interested in like, even like, and no offense, Imani, but like, well, no offense to your idea of West Coast versus East Coast, but to your point, like we need the difference. I don't think East Coast, West Coast is enough of a difference. They have to.
I don't think it is either.
No, I agree. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
We're
spitballing. We're spitballing.
We're spitballing.
Yes, we're doing the R&D for you guys at Bravo. So
no, literally, I think though Bravo needs to like pivot to more like dating though, because I think there's so many young ones and so many single people on that network. I'm going back to the Summer House cast here, but like I think it would be interesting to see like just like the younger, like Lexi and like Jesse and Wes, like on a dating show, perhaps. I don't know, maybe that's Summer House, but
what's gonna happen is I feel like they're gonna do their very own Love Island style Bravo.
That's what I think they should do.
Yeah,
well,
but
I am a girly who loves a dating show, and if you put hot people in a bikini, I will watch. I watch Love Island. Bachelor in Paradise is my.
You want me to put on a bikini for you, Ashley?
Oh my God.
I would love that. Yes, I mean I am always down for a pool party.
No, I love it.
I love a dating show, and I love these ideas of like the younger shows. Like put Lexi in a house with some of the people from like Southern hospitality, like the young era of Bravo. Maybe even throw in some of the NextGen NYC.
But wasn't that Winter House essentially?
Okay, fair.
But they weren't in bikinis.
I don't know.
Well, it was a winter house.
I know that's the joke.
Yeah.
I don't know that I need them to like live together like in a summer house / winter house style vibe. I mean, they can, but like, for example, like we have Brittany Cartwright now. I think it would be a trap. Like they need to be doing something with her right now. And it's crazy that they're not. Like lean into that. Like I would like to see Brittany find her next match personally.
That's what I want to see. I want to see that show, Imani.
Yeah, like it's crazy they're not doing something with Brittany right now. Like that is money on the table.
Also, too, some might say, because we're going to get into it, and I saw this, I think that you guys, I don't know if you pulled it from OK or Us Weekly, but we're going to get into it. I saw it on Taste of Reality first, by the way. But clearly we know that we have a divorce we knew that this was coming, guys. I want to be a conspiracy theorist really quick. Because Ashley and I have talked about this 5 million times. Why not, if in fact there is the 10-year rule in California, why would you not file for divorce knowing that you have been separated for so long before the 10-year mark? That way you don't have to pay alimony and split all of your assets unless unless this is the conspiracy theory, you have a shit ton of debt and you're like, oh, you want half of everything? Will you also get half of my debt? I mean, I don't know, but Dorit Kemsley did end up filing for divorce because, well, Mr. PK Kemsley over here, well, PK, because it's Paul Kemsley, was photographed kissing Scheana from The Amazing Race.
Mhm.
So it's not like we can't act like we're so surprised, but what are our thoughts? And by the way, the fact that she retained Laura Wasser, who is this massive celebrity attorney who charges $1,000 an hour. She did the Kim Kardashian, divorce. She did, oh my God, who else? Britney Spears. She's done so many celebrity divorces, and she's like known to be this powerhouse that really gets the bag for the woman. I'm interested. What are your thoughts?
Ashley?
I mean, it's about effing time. She literally needed to see him kissing another woman. But I'm going to call this out. He was at Cipriani, outside of Cipriani, kissing a woman. People do not go to Cipriani in LA unless they want to be seen. He knew there was paparazzi there. That was intentional. Nobody is going to tell me differently.
100%.
It's like going to Craig's.
It's like going to Craig's. It's like going to Nobu. It is one of those celebrity haunts, and you do not go there. Anytime you go there, there's going to be people sitting in their car waiting for you. He wanted that to be seen.
Yes, Megan. Agreed. I wanted to comment on that. I don't know if that's true. Megan, that story was taken down because I shared something to our stories yesterday and it was removed, talking about who she hired as a divorce attorney. And some people slid in our DM saying that wasn't accurate either. What?
Interesting.
No, I'm interested.
Oh, yeah. So Page Six took that down and so I don't know if she did hire that person, but I did.
It was New York Times who put it up too, though.
Okay.
Sometimes people have to retract things. I mean, sometimes people are wrong, even major publications. I'm not saying they are, but there might have been a mistake.
Yeah.
So I did see that, Megan. So I don't know who she hired on.
That's interesting. I didn't see that.
But I wonder now if there's a reason that Dorit filed now, because she had to have known he was talking to this person.
We made it past the 10-year mark, girl.
Yeah.
She now gets half of everything. She's free.
People are like, she did this intentionally. I don't know if they're filming soon for Beverly Hills. Cameras might be picking it back up, but somebody was like, she filed, or they announced their separation right before cameras picked back up. And now Dorit is filing for divorce right before cameras pick back up. That's what people are saying. I don't think that this is for storyline. I genuinely feel like this was the next step in Dorit and PK's relationship.
Well, and also she deleted Real Housewives of Beverly Hills from her bio on Instagram. So I do wonder too, if now she is in contract negotiations,
perhaps
trying to figure out, okay, well, this is my worth if this is what you want. Because usually when they get rid of a housewife, it's because you're either A, not interesting, or B, they feel like we've completed your story. And I think when they got rid of Cynthia Bailey, even though she was a friend of on the last season that they got rid of her, they were like, okay, well, you got married again. You're good. I mean, we've kind of really rounded out this story and we're going to move on in a different direction, even though she's back. But yeah, I'm curious. I think that there's more story to tell, but we'll see.
I think we're going to be getting some things coming out in the PK Dorit camp. I feel like something nefarious is going on and I foresee news coming out. Watch this space. I feel that there's something coming.
Yeah.
I smell something fishy in Denmark. Definitely.
Brewing for sure. So we'll be keeping an eye out.
Well, on top of that, the girls over at Taste of Reality ended up posting about Erica Jane pitching this. Well, we're all single women, so let's pitch this dating show.
Here we are.
Where we get to pick different guys for each of the girls and yada yada. But really what I want to talk about with the Erica Jane of it all is the rumor right now is that Erica has potentially been demoted to a friend of and not a full-time housewife. And again, this would go back for me, aside from the fashion designer lawsuit, the Marco lawsuit that she's been dealing with. I could see where it's like, yeah, I know that you played very Switzerland this past season and I enjoyed that side of you, but it is kind of like do you command that same pay now that we've put a cap on everything that's going on, or are we sort of phasing you out? What do you guys think?
I think at this point, we've already seen her tight-lipped about legal things. It was not fun to watch. She did not handle the situation in a way that I don't think people enjoyed for the majority of us. I am very uninterested now that she's back in the same place she was a few years ago with all the legal stuff. Like, been there, done it. For me, I'm going to use the term interesting. It was not interesting to me the first time around, and it's definitely going to be less interesting for me the second time around. With that said, I did enjoy her on this last season of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And we watched her watch paint dry. We literally watched her watch wallpaper stick to her wall. That's what we watched. I like non-drama. I just like watching these women live life and do things like that. So I'm all for that content. But like in her definition, it's not interesting, which is the hilarity of this whole situation.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I wouldn't be mad if she was demoted to friend of. I don't know how much. I feel like we have taken Erica's story quite literally as far as it can go. I liked Erica this last season. I think that she kind of was, don't jump me for this, the voice of reason in a way. I kind of feel like she was the narrator and kind of, I think you need that. And like we've talked about this multiple times on these lives, every season does not need to be like the worst season of your life in the sense of like, because typically I feel like when the housewives are at their best, it's when they're at their worst in their personal lives. So like, I understand not every season she needs to be in the hot seat. So sometimes when those seasons are happening, I'm cool to be a friend of. Like, I'll come to these parties and these events, give my opinions, and then kind of clock out.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wouldn't be mad if Erica stayed on next season, but I think she should be demoted to a friend of, unless she dates somebody and she's willing to share it and something huge happens. But like, there's no more. We've already seen Erica Jane. We've already seen her be quiet about the legal things. She's not going to introduce a partner on the show. So what else is she really going to add other than her 2 cents at random parties? So she should be a friend of.
Right.
You know,
even a meal. Like,
I want to pick your brain on this too, because I think that the fans are very split about this specific person. And I'm not going to lie. I would imagine, so I'm just going to say the name, Teddi Mellencamp. I would imagine that right now you are going through a very difficult time. Clearly, I think that there's no other way to put it. I think that's actually putting it really cotton candy. I feel like this would be horrific for her. I have been shocked to see a lot of her little sound bites that come out where she's still so incredibly snarky towards some of the other women, and also pointing out who hasn't reached out to her. And I'm like, what are you doing? But is Teddi Mellencamp like, because just to be fair, I might have a different opinion than you guys, and then also everybody in the live chat. I think that Teddi Mellencamp is a phenomenal podcast host. I didn't think that she was a great reality TV star. I think that's okay to say. It's not like the worst thing in the world. But would you guys be interested in the return of Teddi? Or no, let's keep her on 2 T's.
Imani, I think you need to go take this because you have the better opinion.
Why do you say that?
Well, just because we've talked recently in private and you watched some of the Beverly Hills. I'm just thinking back of a conversation we had where you said you didn't think Teddi, like on the rewatch, like we were too hard on her.
Oh, sure.
Community.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 opinions that might contradict one another. So number one, I want to say that like, knock on effing wood, none of us have known what it's like to go through this huge situation. Like I can't, and I pray I will never effing imagine what it's like to have cancer. I can't say that I wouldn't be shady myself. I'm like, who texted me? I do this about my birthday. If you don't reach out to me on my birthday, you will never hear from me again on your birthday.
Okay,
so,
Stassi.
I'm not gonna lie.
Birthday.
My effing birthday, and it's coming up, by the way. So, anyways, if I had a major disease and somebody who was my coworker didn't reach out to me for several, I would be pissed, to be quite honest. And I'm going to say, Teddi, you know what? You can be all the catty you want on your podcast. You're going through cancer. Go ahead, girl. However you need to cope and however you need to process.
Okay.
go for it. So that's my one opinion. On the other end, I don't know that I would hate her back on Beverly Hills. Like, I feel like this gave her a second wind almost. And she's a phenomenal podcast host, to your point. I think I did rewatch Beverly Hills, and I don't think Teddy was as bad as I remembered her to be. But Kirsten, to your point, if she is back, I need her to not be up Kyle's ass. That would be the only thing that would piss me off, is if she was too much Kyle's sidekick. I think she need to come out and be more like, I'm Teddy, independent of Kyle. That is
I was here on Orange County. I think that kind of solves everything. Like, I think she makes a better fit in Orange County at this
But then
point.
she would be up Emily and Tamra's ass.
True.
But I think that, like, I mean, I don't know if I am going to agree with that statement. I think she has obviously a beautiful friendship with Kyle. We've seen Kyle with her every step of this cancer journey. I love her friendship with Teddy with Tamra. And I think if they had, because their podcast is so good and the dynamic they have on that podcast is amazing, I think that shared dynamic on Housewives would make Teddy, people, you know what? I don't know if a lot of people would give her a chance. They've written her off, and that's too bad. I rewatched a lot of Beverly Hills, and actually I rewatched Gossip Girl, and I was like, why were we so mad and hard on Teddy? Why were we so hard on Jenny Humphrey on Gossip Girl? Like, rewatching, I'm like, why we were like really tough on them as communities. And in retrospect, I don't get it. I would like to see Teddy back. And I think what your point was, Adam, about her having this new life. She's not married anymore. She's had this illness. She's had a huge cheating scandal. Yes. We have a new woman now.
Teddy has so much story to tell now, and it's unfortunate because I think people won't really give her a second chance. They might be more empathetic now that she has gone through cancer, and maybe people who wrote her off entirely might be a little more open to her coming back. But I would rather watch, and by the way, I'm a Kyle Richards apologist. I love Kyle. So with that said, I would rather watch Teddy and Tamra than I would rather watch Kyle and Teddy, because I think Kyle, more people are intimidated by her. And I think Kyle has more pull on Beverly Hills, in my opinion, than Tamra has on OC. So I feel like people would be more willing to go up against Tamra and Teddy than they would be up against Teddy and Kyle. I would never go against Kyle on Beverly Hills, because at the end of the day, she is that franchise. And if you, and I feel like if Kyle does not like you, you're not on the show. I feel that way.
Okay.
Like Tamra and Teddy would be more enjoyable to watch, and people would feel more comfortable going up against both of them.
Okay, well, then that leads me, since we're talking about Beverly Hills, what a great segue. It came out that, well, actually, Kristen Doty, I am so sorry. And you know that we have a good friendship, and I love you, and I'm sorry. But you're the one who put it out there. So Kristen Doty ended up sharing with everybody that in Scheana's book, Scheana is going to expose a few things about Lisa Vanderpump, and she thinks that's why Scheana's book has sort of, or not Scheana's book, but Scheana's relationship with Lisa has sort of declined a little bit because Lisa already knows about this. I don't know what the proper protocol is when you're writing a memoir and how much you need to tell people before you mention their names. Sure. I don't know what it adds. Like, if you're a public figure, can you be mentioned anyways? Not really sure, but Kristen Doty seems to believe that there are moments in this book that expose LVP. And Lisa Vanderpump, when she sat down with Alex Baskin, Alex asked, well, a lot of people want to know, what is the situation? Like, why now? Why change up the cast now? And she was like, I don't even have an assistant for people to reach out to. Now, all of a sudden, we started this off with like a very fresh cast of people, and they had these AC units in their windows and blah, blah, blah. And then they become like these big stars. And now you're sending me to your assistants. And I think that she kind of was like, let me humble the shit out of all of you really quick, and remind you who gaveth you and who is going to taketh away. But since right now it's all predictions and speculation, what in the hell could be in that book about Lisa Vanderpump?
I think that I've seen a lot of rumblings about the former VPR cast, like, now coming out with their Lisa stories, which is really interesting timing to me. I also think there's some jealousy that Stassi was kind of the chosen one from LVP. I think that is a lot of it, because Stassi is essentially Vanderpump Villa season 2 star. I mean, from all the promo, that's basically what I'm getting out of it. I haven't watched season 2 yet, but just peripherally, that's Stassi season 2. So I think there's a lot of jealousy that she was picked. And Scheana's whole plight on reality TV for over a decade is wanting to be picked.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
a very fair statement.
I mean, love Scheana down. Like, I'm gonna.
That's why we love her.
I love Scheana, but like, I think it's fair to say that Scheana is the quintessential pick-me of Bravo. Love you, Scheana. Love Summer.
We love Scheana, but that's just who she is. That's why we love her.
And I also think that Scheana will tell you that. This has been a running joke, by the way. This is not just you saying this. This has been a running joke about Scheana in the Bravo world for a long, long time of being a pick-me girl. And I think that she even leans into it now because this is the narrative. Yeah, it's a narrative that just like sort of skyrocketed out of her control. And she definitely contributed to it where she was like, oh my God, he hung a TV in 6 minutes. He hung did I tell you he hung a TV in six? Yeah. He hung a TV in 6 minutes. And it's like, girl, the TV fell. Okay.
Exactly.
The TV fell at Charlie Burnett's house. We're done with it. We're done with the TV conversation. But I do think that she has really contributed to that conversation of her being a pick-me girl. And I'm the same way, you guys. Like, Scheana is the one who got me my job at SUR. I will always be grateful for that because if I wouldn't have got the job at SUR, I wouldn't have met Jason. If I wouldn't have met, like all of this, the way that my 20s and everything shaped up was basically by running into her and her husband working at Malibu Fish Grill. So I will forever be grateful for that. She contributed to the way that my life shaped out.
But Adam, to your point, don't mistake her being a pick. I think Scheana's a good friend. I think if out of everyone on that cast, if I could befriend somebody, I would probably go to Scheana first. I feel like she's a ride or die girl at the end of the day. She might be a pick me and like always wanting things to be about her. But like, I feel like Scheana is just like friends with everybody. And I think she's a good girl and with a good heart. I genuinely believe that.
Have you guys at all watched the new Vanderpump Villa season?
I'm about halfway through. I loved season 1. Everyone's like, oh, it's so fake. But I'm like, you guys, I hate to break it to you. Like, Santa's not real and reality TV is.
Well, you know what I didn't like, Ashley, since you're halfway through, I didn't like the first episode of season 2 where they brought in the newbies and then all of a sudden, like they're all waiting and thinking Lisa's going to walk through the door and here comes Marciano and a few other people who were in the previous season. And they're like, oh my God, that's Marciano. Oh my God, he's here. And I'm like, what is that? It's not Janet Jackson. Like, what are you talking about?
Even Stassi deserved that reaction, which she got, but like Marciano, like.
That's what I meant. Like, is there like some wild talent that I'm unaware of? Or is there something that he has done that is like so compelling? Because it's like, he was just on the first season of the same show that you guys are all on. Yeah. I wouldn't sit there and be like kissing the ass of this specific situation and be like, oh,
and I don't like him. The vibe is off. I don't know. I know Imani's following the mom talk drama.
I was gonna say we need to do another live after we've watched after we watched Vanderpump Villa season 2, because there's actually a lot of drama surrounding that I want to talk to you guys about. One of them being the mom talk drama, but I haven't watched, so I can't add to it. Yeah. And then I want you guys' opinion. And Sergio, I love Stassi. Sergio was kind of like playing with me over there about kissing her. We play
Sergio being a little shady.
No, but love Sergio. He DMs us and we play. But yeah, I love Stassi. I get a lot of flack for that. But I do. I know Ashley loves her as well. But like the whole Stassi and like the Beau and the sister drama from the season 2, like there's just so much to talk about with that. So I would love for us to like do another live and discuss all those things.
Well, and thank you to Breaking the Rules pod clips. I'm just going to play this clip really quick. If you guys didn't see, Stassi brought a group of people to the villa, and this is what she had to say.
Talk today on GMA about Stassi Says. Yeah. And you literally said that things are happening. It's very exciting. And you said, and I quote ish, you basically were like, and you can check out my cast, friends and family on Vanderpump Villa because they all come as guests to the Vanderpump Villa, to the castle. This is my cast. I'm so excited. Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, me too.
And so you said it on GMA, so I'm going to say it again. Yeah. And you said that we've been working on some things.
Well, we've filmed parts of it.
We have.
And it's just, we're not allowed to fully go into details yet.
Right.
but we're all just fucking bubbling with excitement.
So excited.
And that's where we're at. And I can't wait to not be that douchebag that teases things ever again.
You talked.
Okay. And I also think too, to be fair, like what you guys were saying about the jealousy aspects, I do think that with the cast, you know, like I listened to Katie Maloney the other day because she was the first guest on Tom Schwartz's new podcast, Detox and Retox.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, Jax is sitting here saying that, oh, well, I created this show. And she's like, actually, this is what our show was always supposed to be. It's like the same format. It's the same kind of music. It's the same B-roll. It's just a different cast, but we were always supposed to be this. So no, Jax, you didn't sit there and create that, but you can listen to the octave in her tone and listen to the you with that, you know, like why it really is like a go yourself, you know, like you think that you were the chosen one. Okay. You got lucky. Wow. But I would imagine that would play amongst all of these people. Like, you know, I'm sure Summer House, some of the girls probably have some, you know, like annoyed and frustrating feelings towards Paige or
100%. I can't imagine the group chat Paige is not in because you know one exists.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just like her and Hannah again. I know that's a thing. Someone said this is spot on, perfect casting. Someone said Scheana Shay is Gretchen Wieners. Spot on. 100%. Yes.
That is the best analogy. Like somebody needs to explain it to Teresa Giudice because it's worth her understanding it because it's that good.
Well, what a great segue that is, because speaking of Teresa, you guys know, and I was talking to Jason again on our walk, asking him about NextGen NYC, and he was like, I have no interest in watching that. And I said, well, listen, I think that personally, I feel like Bravo and NBC, they are using a show like this in order to tap into a younger audience. I think that's the whole goal. I think there's a bigger purpose. And I think that they have been able to do two things at the same time, which is really bring in the older audience that has been around for a long time because they'll recognize the kids of some of their favorite housewives, but then also bring in a new younger audience who might want to tap into whatever this show is going to play out to be. But Melissa Gorga was asked about her daughter and was her daughter invited to join NextGen NYC? And she said, to be honest with you, no, she was not. But right now she's still at university, the University of Delaware. And I don't think that she would personally want to join the show, but who knows? I'm always going to support what she wants to do. Can you see a world where Bravo will phase Antonia into NextGen NYC?
Yeah, I could, but Antonia is like living her best life at college. To Melissa's point, I wouldn't give that up if I were Antonia right now. I think she needs to continue with college. And then when she graduates, maybe I think I could see a world. I think there's story to tell amongst the cousins. And I would like to see Gia and Antonia and Melania and all of them kind of rekindle and become friends. I think that would be a really interesting story for the audience to see. But I could see her going over there in a couple years. What about you, Ashley?
I could definitely see it. I think Bravo would absolutely jump at the opportunity if they could get them to film together. I think anything to latch on to their parents' drama because it is ratings gold. I think they would 100%. I think that, what's Melissa's daughter's name? Antonia?
Antonia, yeah.
I think Antonia, I don't think she's in the place to do that show as a college student. Like, are any of these people still students on this show? Like, I got the feeling they were either like not going to college or post-college and like working. Like
it's post-college because I feel like they will all be drinking age, I would imagine.
Right. I just don't think she's of age to do the show yet, like, or in the spot in life to where she's looking for a career.
She's 19 and Gia's 24. You know,
that's a big difference.
It's a big difference. Christy, good point. She said that, or maybe it wasn't Christy that said it. Somebody said that Teresa would be so upset probably with Antonia joining because it's like, well, Gia did it first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like how you did I like the little play on it. And
it's so true.
It is funny too, because in that same interview, Melissa said, you know, we're working on some things within the family that might have a different spin. So it did seem like it was a teaser for a spin off because everybody is wondering who's coming back. Is it going to be Teresa or Melissa? And who's getting a spinoff? Because they're both fan favorites, whether you love to hate watch them or you love to watch them. People are still going to do it regardless. And I thought that part was interesting. But Margaret Josephs also recently just chimed in on the tax issues with Louis and Teresa, saying, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. And I also don't want anything bad to happen to her. But like everything that we were telling her about this man, we were doing it out of a place of like sisterhood and love and being like, hey, really watch your back. So
I feel like the only way that Teresa and Melissa could come back to the show, because I think it's going to be an either or. I don't think there's no way that they will do the 2 shows again, because essentially it was 2 different shows. It was bad. I mean, there were moments that I enjoyed, but like it was 2 separate shows under the one umbrella. I think the only way that we could like get Jersey back is if Teresa leaves Louis and it's her like being acclimated back into the group, like with humble pie. I feel like that would be the only way that they could move forward with the entire group. Would be on the tails of that. Oh my God, thank you guys for liking my accent and my impression of Teresa. Thank you. But yeah, that's the only way. I will say this, and I want to preface it by saying that like I have a lot of respect for Gia. She held it down for her family. She is like the girl's like second mom. I think she's like a really good sister, and I think she is pretty much a pillar for her mom. I relate to her in a lot of ways. I'm the oldest sister. I'm like that for my mom, like kind of like I get that. However, I find Gia incredibly boring. I find Brooks incredibly boring and mundane. That's just my opinion, but also I'm not target demo. I don't think. I just like all of Gia's TikToks are boring to me. Her voice is like, I don't know, but also I'm not
chosen vocal fry. I can't.
The vocal fry drives me crazy. And I know my voice
isn't monotone.
Yeah, and my voice isn't for everybody. I have a hard time listening to my voice when we make TikTok. So I'm not saying that I'm like Morgan Freeman at all. You guys can hate on me too. But like, I just can't with Gia's voice, and I can't with Brooks. And they're 2 of the like main people.
My husband walked into the room while Brooks was talking and just started cracking up laughing.
Yeah. No,
he's like, the vocal fry is just the monotone vocal fry. It's just, there's everything is just like, it is like that dead, you know, when the heart stops that you can't do between.
Does it make you wonder, like, when they celebrate holidays, and I'm not picking on anyone, but like when they celebrate holidays, you know how like some people are like, oh my God, not the diamond tennis bracelet that I've always wanted. Thank you. And just like, you know, like, and you watch the reaction videos of like kids getting like a new puppy, but then also you see some of the kids of the Housewives where they're like, oh my God, wow, this new Birkin, this is everything and more that I wanted. So thank you. And you're like, did you want it? Because it seems like you really don't give a shit. Is that just like, is that you're excited for? I don't know.
Maybe it's Gen Z. Like they're so nonchalant and like just don't care.
No, I think it is. I think it's all the like, you know, you can kind of tell when people are like, I think it's a lot of beta blockers, probably a lot of like, everyone's, you know, as a person who smokes weed all day, like everyone's high all the time. Everyone just kind of like in that mellow state. Like,
I don't know.
I think everyone's just kind of like, right now.
To be clear, we're going to watch it and report on it, I'm sure.
We're going to hopefully love it. We're like you. We want to like it.
I'm not a hater for fun. Like, I genuinely love Bravo. I want to like the show. And at the end of the day, like, I'm so for everybody getting their flowers. There's room for everyone to be successful. Get your bag, Gia. Get your bag, Brooks. Get your bag, Riley, Ariana. Like, happy for all of you guys. Do your thing. I just find it a little boring right now, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be like the next big Bravo show.
I don't know, and I also for a lot of things I like. So
to be fair too, I think that yes, I know that the Brandy, Glanville, Caroline Manzo really put a halt on Ultimate Girls Trip. Yeah. But I think that was such a fun franchise, and even if you guys want to take that behind and like just like squash it and bury it in the backyard because it can never make it to air. Yeah. I think that was like a really fun dynamic. I think that there's so many different ways you could play on it, where you could do villains, Ultimate Girls Trip, like Villains Edition, and all of these other things. Like that was a show that really seemed like it worked. Yeah. And some of these other shows like The Love Hotel, I'm curious to see. I'll still be interested to see. I think that the women have ruined a lot of it already, because if you're watching hoping to see who they end up with, like as if it's The Bachelor, that's not going to be the same case. You're not waiting in anticipation. And even at that point, if you guys were watching The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, you would still get Reality Steve, who would ruin it anyway. Right. So
Reality Steve, I haven't seen his name pop up in a while. Is he?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying though. Is like at least you still had the anticipation of like, oh, who's gonna get the final rose? And now with this, it's like, I don't know. But last but not least, I don't know if you guys watched this last night. I do want to bring it up because there were a couple key moments from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We had Portia and her birthday trip, where she wanted to do a Cowboy Carter trip to Nashville. And she invited all of the ladies. And when she did, she had all of them on like a FaceTime call. And the one person who was notably absent would be Drew Sidora. And Angela Oakley was like, okay, well, you didn't not invite her. So she shows up to the trip and she's like, oh, I invited Drew. And Portia looks at her like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but you're not going to get me out of my face on this one. You're not going to get that. I'm not giving it to you. Okay, you want Drew to come? And then we still get Drew last night, who ends up storming off, but the women have a lot of fun. They end up getting super, super wasted. Portia was in a bad mood because she found out that after she told Dennis not to film with any other housewives and how ridiculous that looks, 8 days later, he ended up filming again with Drew. And so she came with like an attitude for sure to her birthday dinner, which I could see why. And, you know, the women were trying to talk to her and she's like, you guys can kiss my ass. But then after that, they ended up having a good rest of the night and everybody got a little saucy pants. And Angela Oakley went upstairs, 2:00 in the morning. You have a drunk Portia and she's like, oh, yeah, you, Angela, because your husband, Charles. Oh. And it was like, and Angela was like, wait a minute. Okay, I already know that this woman is capable of stealing somebody's husband and messing around with somebody's husband. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is going to get really, really good. Okay, guys, let's keep watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta. But not just that. I mean, we had other moments that were more serious moments. Shamia Morton opened up about her first marriage and how abusive it was. And that was absolutely devastating. But then also they kind of in a roundabout way talk about the absence of Kenya and tell Britt Edie, listen, straightforward, what she did in that moment, showing photos of you in acts of fellatio, that was not okay, but she is still our friend and we love her. However, you sitting back and celebrating the demise of Kenya's, you know, housewives run. Right. That we're not going to celebrate. So it was a very interesting watch. It kept my attention. I'm curious. I'm really curious to see how this plays out.
I'm really liking this season so far. I will say it is so obvious Kenya's presence is not there. Yes, 100%. Last night's Watch What Happens Live, amazing. Kenya and Giselle riffed off each other so well. Someone mentioned Watch What Happens Live. Yes, they killed it. I really like Atlanta. I love Angela on the show. I feel like she's the bone collector of this season. She's like moving story forward as well, inviting Drew on the trip as a newbie. Iconic. Like she is killing it. I love her. I hope she's back. I'm really disappointed though in Portia this season. I was so looking forward to her coming back, but like, it's very clear she cannot talk about Simon. I feel like she's dragging on the Drew and Dennis thing a little too hard because she cannot film with Simon. She can't talk about Simon. Like, I feel like she's just being, I don't know. I expected more out of Portia and it's been a little disappointing this season watching her.
See,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm with you. I think Shamia and Angela Oakley are two of the best additions to this franchise. Like, I think, well, and Shamia is not an addition. She's been around, but for her prevalent role this season.
Oh, did I say Kenya on Watch What Happens Live? I meant Giselle and Portia. Sorry.
I didn't even clock it. I think.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, noted. I think they're great additions. I really like Britt is just not doing it for me at all. To lose Kenya, and I know Kenya is a controversial personality. I don't like everything Kenya does, especially obviously this, which I have to say, Kenya coming out on her confessionals, which is so iconic that she made her own, like, girl, she is that girl. But saying like, I didn't do anything illegal, like, that's just kind of like a weird place. I think like societal, like, just a general statement, like just because something's not illegal doesn't mean it's right. Like her falling back on, I didn't do anything illegal, there's no repercussion that I can get. It's like, but you're a mother of a woman, a young lady, you're a mother of a girl who will eventually hopefully become a woman. Like, is this the person that you want your, like, you wouldn't want anybody doing that to your daughter? And also, would you want your daughter doing that to somebody else? Like, it was just so nasty, and her still defending it. She's apologized, but the fact that she's still saying it wasn't illegal, like, honestly, is so disgusting to me.
Ashley, not to defend that, because I agree. She kind of has no other play but to double down. You know what I mean? At this point, like, she kind of have to stand beside it, or else it's all for nothing. So, like, I kind of get why she is doubling down, because Kenya doesn't feel she was wrong, and she was essentially lost her job. So I feel like
she can't say that she, like, her whole defense is that she wasn't protected by the network. So I think she's also playing into that. Like, what was I supposed to do? The network didn't protect me. I was left on my own.
It makes me mad because, like, people knew production. I'm assuming I've never seen how reality TV works behind the lens. Somebody knew Kenya was doing that.
There's no way she snuck in there with giant poster boards and a cameraman, a producer. People obviously saw it, period. They let it happen. And honestly, the thing should have never happened. Production should have never let those posters stay in that room.
But also, no, they definitely let her do it.
They could have edited that entire scene out, and we would have been none the wiser, unless people reported on it, you know, who were at the party. But they could have edited that out.
They've done it for other people. To be fair, they've done it for, like, other people. But yes, to say what Imani is saying, you know, like, especially when I was working at SUR and they would film Vanderpump Rules, they would always come in probably about an hour or two before. They would make sure that their lighting was set up. They would make sure that the ambiance was right. Everything had to look right for the cameras. So when she came in, which is not funny, but when she came in with these boards, they knew what was going to happen. Maybe they didn't know how strong of a reaction the cast was going to have. And they were just like, you're going to give us ratings. You're going to give us scandal. We're not going to coach you on this, which normally they would coach you. And they were like, okay, well, you're going to stand on your own 2 feet. Good luck. And may the odds be ever in your favor. But for Kenya, you know, it is wild too, because her Kenya Moore hair spa is only open, I think, half of the week. And it's only open for appointment only. It's not actually open. So I just think that this all around, she is feeling the repercussions of these actions. I think that this was something that she did that she thought was probably going to have a different reaction and a different outcome. And that's not what happened. But for Kenya, I'm curious to see after this season, knowing that she won't be invited to the reunion, are they going to keep Britt Edie? Or are they going to say at the end of the season, listen, you weren't necessarily a fan favorite, and you know, we did fire her. We did what was right. But since you weren't a fan favorite, we're going to complete your contract and we're going to bring in Kenya back. I don't know how they're going to play it, but I'm curious. I'll be watching.
I think that Bravo has had a really difficult time reading the audience lately. And I think that, to your point, I think they knew Kenya was going to do it. They were not expecting the women on the cast to have that visceral reaction. I think that they played it wrong. And because of all the Bravo lawsuits lately, like, Bravo's hands were tied. Like, I get it. They had to suspend Kenya. Like, there was, I understand why they did it. I think if this happened like 2 years ago, I think Kenya would still be on. And I think that they are just in such a finicky spot where, like, they just have to make examples out of people because of all the lawsuits. That's my opinion on it. I agree with that. Timeline. And I think Bravo didn't want to have any blood on their hands. So they were like, we're just going to sever ties and Kenya's just going to have to thug this out on her own. That said, I think if they don't fire Britt and she goes back next season and Kenya's not there, that will be wrong on their end. Like, I think they need to fire Britt or let Kenya come back.
Yeah.
Well, Kenya was never fired. She was just essentially like paused and taken off. Like, she's still not, I mean, they didn't cut ties with her. I would say my 90% bet would be that Kenya comes back and Britt is nowhere to be found again. Like, she is a one and doneer.
I agree.
I don't know anybody who's enjoying her. Even put this aside, like put the whole scandal aside. She's just not that girl.
Yeah.
Especially since we know Kelly and Britt are not friends right now. I feel like Kelly was like her number one ally, especially when everything happened with Kenya. And now that Kelly and Britt aren't friends, I don't know who Britt's main ally would be. Because I think everyone at the end of the day would ride for Kenya more than they would ride for Britt, especially postseason. So I don't hate Britt, by the way. I like the dynamic that's happening right now. I just wish Kenya could have stayed so that the story could be fully told. And especially she's not at the reunion. I'm like, you guys should have edited all of this out. Like, there's it's not helpful. Like, it served zero purpose because we didn't even get we didn't get to see it play out in real time.
Well, it's funny because even Kenya doubling down on that confessional, she did make a couple of valid points, I will say, when it came to other franchises exhibiting some very similar like behavior.
Yeah.
So I heard what she was saying and I heard where she was going with it. It'll be interesting when it does come full circle, but also at the end of the day, anybody who is a seasoned housewife or anybody who knows how all of this works, you want the right players in the game in order to drive ratings, because if the ratings are driven up and up and up, then that's just going to solidify you guys being renewed for another franchise. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but we are friends with all of the Dubai ladies, Jason and I. We have great relationships with all of them. And I've had many conversations where some of them would be completely frustrated with the other ones, being like, what are you doing right now? Like, what are this is not going to, Andy Cohen actually had to have a conversation with them, pull them aside and be like, after the first season, guys, we need you to fix whatever this is, and we need you guys to get back on a good track in order for you guys to keep getting renewed. Otherwise, this show is going to be canned. It's already an expensive show to make. But with that too, I forgot that I was going to share this. Jason posted it on my Instagram. This was BravoCon, and I did want to say happy birthday to our girl.
Happy birthday, Caroline.
Happy birthday, Caroline. Where she just
another Taurus, yes.
Taurus gang.
Taurus.
Here we go.
Here with me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He hasn't spoken to me last night. Not that I'm that upset about it. But I said that his hair looks like a toilet.
Looks like a toilet bowl brush.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much, Caroline. We love you and happy birthday.
I wish Dubai last season was really good and it didn't get us proper flowers. And I blame Bravo for the huge wait time. Mm-hmm. That was on them for that. It was confusing when it aired on TV. It was a horrible time slot. But last season was so good and it did not get its flowers.
No.
I think it was at its best on Peacock. I loved the production value of Miami on Peacock. And Bravo ratings are just down right now. And I don't know if I don't think it's all because of the programming. I think a lot of it is just like a new age of streaming and whatnot. Whereas when Miami was doing the Peacock show, I don't think Peacock had the inertia behind it.
It was
Whereas
still very
now, I think if they put Miami on Peacock rather than canceling it, I think it would be better than ever on Peacock. What did I say? Miami? Sorry, I meant Dubai. Oh, but I kind of meant both because Miami was on Peacock. Sorry, I literally just jumbled all that up. Miami was great on Peacock.
Yeah.
I think Dubai would find a great place there rather than them canceling.
I agree. 100%.
That was a word salad. Thank you.
That's okay. All right, guys. Well, in the live chat, if you don't know, because we always are interested in continuing the conversation, I pinned in the live chat that we have partnered with our good friends over at roseforever.com for their Mother's Day sale. So you guys have to check it out. I love Rose Forever. We only partner with people who we truly love the product, or where we truly love the product. They are giving away 3 bouquets to you guys, the Addams family. All you have to do is go sign up on our email list on upandadamlive.com, or you can join the email list. So definitely check that out. And Jason and I are going to be going to the Dominican Republic on Friday for a couple days for one of our good friend, Bill, who he lives here on the island. He is launching a new company called the Elevate Collective, where it's going to be a wellness retreat. So I'm doing my very own, I don't know what this is, but it's exciting. I'm going to be in a home with 27 other people for a couple of days. So this will be interesting. I will keep you guys posted, especially over here for the Addams family. But in the meantime,
giving like major real world vibes.
I know.
I love real world girly. So I'm like, put cameras up. Literally where's Andy in the camera?
I know that people always, guys, I love you so much over here, and you guys are always in the comments, and you guys are always so great. And if you're not, don't worry. I let it, it's like water on my back. But if you guys need your fix, you can go over to tasteofreality.com, where they have the latest buzz and the live discussions. And I will let one of our favorite ladies go.
Wow, people are watching Love Hotel.
Take it to Instagram. Yeah.
Love it. I feel so bad that I'm behind on it, but I literally got back yesterday. I was tired and we needed to get some stories up for the taste buds. The latest news, you guys, my heart broke. I am a Drag Race girly and Jiggly Caliente died. If you have not watched Pose, it's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. Jiggly's death was horrible and I hate it so much. R.I.P. Jiggly. We're talking Christian Siriano. He gave major flowers to Bronwyn Newport from Salt Lake City. She is one of his best customers. And he was like, yeah, these housewives want me to dress them for free. I'll dress an Oscar nominee for free, but not you. And I love him for that. We covered Giselle from Watch What Happens Live. Karen, just like Teresa, and who else is in prison or was?
Oh, God,
Jen Shaw ruling the prison. Karen apparently is running the prison where she is. So again, where's Andy in the camera? Yeah, lots going in the world of Bravo and beyond. So thank you for following us at the website. Imani will talk to you about the socials.
Yes, and also really quick, thank you, Megan. 30 and Flirty and Thriving. I cannot wait. And to answer someone else's question, we are seeing Adam next month in May, so we're super excited. So follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting all of the content. We have a lot of fun Southern Charm things coming your way. Ashley and I have some videos that we're gonna do. Loverboy could be on there, some fun things. But anyways, this is our Instagram account. Go ahead and give us a follow. We're taste_of_reality, slowly checking away over to 100K. We love it. We cover everything we talk about on the website and more. So if you guys love us and want to support 2 of your faves, go ahead and follow us over on Taste of Reality, follow our website. And then we also have a TikTok account where we talk about the articles we write about and just post anything relevant over there. We are taste of ___. Okay. I'm not okay, you guys. We are taste of __reality on TikTok. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
She traveled this weekend too, so we're doing our best.
Yeah,
yes.
I went to New York this past weekend. I saw Little Shop on Broadway. Obsessed with it, you guys. If you are in the area, go see it.
Yes.
We're theater girlies, you guys. So, and Little Shop is like nothing but joy. I was so jealous, but I am going to be posting a lot from my LA trip because we did have FaceTime with Schwartz. We did have FaceTime with Zach Wickham. I did go to Chateau Marmont this weekend. Like, there's going to be a lot of content that I just was too tired to make this weekend.
Yes.
So,
Oh my God. No, definitely check it out. And again, too, we are going to be dropping another link this week, you guys, for Mother's Day for Blow. A lot of people have been asking. You guys sold us out, so thank you. We appreciate that. But we are completely back in stock. So we're going to give an extra special discount for you guys this go around. Actually, to be honest, you guys sold us out twice. So thank you. Thank you. I just want to do something special. Jason and we were talking about that. So I will keep you guys posted for the Addams family for the new blow discount. I think we want to do something in honor of Mother's Day. But again, don't forget the roseforever.com giveaway. They're giving you guys 3 bouquets, 3 of you guys a bouquet. Whichever bouquet you want, it doesn't matter how big, how small, you can choose whatever you want. All you have to do is just go sign up at the email list. There's no money involved in the making of this giveaway. So with that, happy Monday, everybody. Let's kick this week off the right way. Let's get ready for the DR and everything else that we have coming. Ashley and Imani, thank you so much for joining me. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.